Okay, so I said that I wasn't going to do a flip through of my completed 2023 absolute monster of an alligator mouth junk journal, but I changed my mind. Now, that said, there may be some things that I choose to skip over or not show you, but yeah, I thought I would show you because I really like it and I'm really proud of it and I'm really happy with it and it makes me really happy and I just kind of want to show it off. And I just went through it, and actually I'm realizing I didn't go through this pocket. I just went through it and pulled out all the stuff that I was like saving to like if it was tucked in a pocket or tucked in somewhere here, but it wasn't really like part of a spread, and it was like, oh, I might use this in here. I went ahead and pulled that out because, oh yeah, this got a whole little blank notepad. Doesn't need to be in there. What else is in here? Ooh. Photo of the night sky. Less good photos from Moon Circle. I've got the good ones in there already. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make it a little tiny bit less thick. So if there was stuff in here that wasn't really like a part of what needed to be in here, I took it out. Yeah. We've got, today is the first day of the rest of my life. This was a tag that I was taking over the shift at my old Starbucks, and the mid shift was leaving, and they rang their drink through, but they put on here, "Vervain is cool," as a ask me line in their drink order, and I just thought that was special, so I saved it and now it's in here. And I wrote on here something that my husband said, which I almost should put this in my new journal, but I think maybe I'll write it down again and put it in my new journal. It's something that my husband said about, I don't know if he was talking about the journal or if he was talking about something else. But he said, well, if it wasn't overflowing, it wouldn't really be you, would it? And I just felt so seen in that moment. So I had to write that down and keep that. And this was, some stickers that I had printed when I released my album that I never did anything with. I still have a drawer full of them because I'm supposed to be doing a Kickstarter to put my album on CD, and I haven't yet. We've got a very blurry instant photo of my beginning of the year reading and my card of the year and some notes from that. I'm gonna have to like lift this up a little bit so you can see these pages. Some nice notes from my Starbucks coworkers. Tea bag, note to self, sleep is important. This is a ribbon from my aunt's celebration of life that was actually the celebration of life was on October 15th, 2022. So it was before I started this journal, but it was still kind of on my mind. She passed away a couple months before that. And then we've got about my 2022 word of the year, moving into my 2023 word of the year, create. Some notes about that. This is, if I recall correctly, like almost everything in this pocket has something to do with my miscarriage. Yeah, this is a note with a little goddess that came with a little goddess doll someone sent me to commemorate my miscarriage. And then some notes in here. We're not going to go through all that. And then we've got, I don't know. I'm not going to narrate all of this. I made this stamp this year. I did a lot of just like documenting art that I made. So like if I carved stamps, I probably put the stamp in here somewhere. Maybe not all of them, because at a certain point I was carving a lot of stamps. I think I'm going to take this out and use that somewhere else. This is not a song I wrote this past year, but a song I wrote that I kind of turned back to this year. And actually this is it's a prayer. It's called Prayer to the Wind. And I was feeling really depressed in the wake of my miscarriage. And this song prayer has always helped me to kind of get back in touch with the divine and get back in touch with the flow and the current of inspiration. And at this time that I wrote this down, I straight up like did not even feel like I had the energy or the willpower to sing it. But I was like, you know, I can write it down. And I wrote it down in here, and it was fucking crazy. As soon as I finished writing it out, I got a text from my friend. It was like 3 a.m. Like, we were not like texting each other, okay? And she just out of the blue messaged me and was like, hey, I wrote a poem about you. It just kind of like came through. Like, it feels kind of like maybe it was like divinely channeled. It doesn't really feel like I wrote it. Can I send it to you? And she sent it to me, and it was basically like the divine reaching out to me, telling me like ways to take care of myself, to get back in touch with my creativity. And it really felt like in writing down this prayer had been answered through that poem that she wrote. She was herself again. And I have that poem in here somewhere. But like I said, I'm not very good. Well, I don't know if I said that in this video. But I'm not very good at working through my junk journal, like chronologically, like page 1, then page 2, then page 3, then page 4. I just kind of like look for what's the right place for this to fit. This is it, actually. I'll read it to you, actually. Wash your feet in long nights and paint yourself. You're here again. I can't see the whole picture for you nor me, though I've been told you'll find all you seek in watercolored gold. There's a jewel in every shape you make, a light-catching light turned off-white the moment when sold. The miraculous is held in your hands, and through the mind's eye, God is seeking you, in every world, in every color. And just some notes about that night and that experience. A dream about my house being haunted. This was a fun little pocket. I just kind of put her in there to like show that it was a pocket, but Luna Lovegood is kind of one of my spirit animals, so I decided she could just live there forever. Yeah, we've got some journaling here, some photos that I picked up. I got it at the thrift store. It was like 4 photos in a 4-photo frame, and I was like, I don't like the way this is displayed, but I want all 4 photos and I want the frame. And I think one of them is framed in a smaller frame now, and then one of them I put in the fairy tale junk journal, and then the other 2 are still living right here. Got a program from the Renaissance Fair, and I went with my Starbucks coworkers. This, if I do a doily pocket like this in the future, I'm gonna have to reinforce it, because this is not the vibe. And I may have to reinforce this one at some point, but we're just living with it for now. We've got some photos of Cottonwood Cottage. Right after pulling my car out of the mud, and she had been in the mud helping to pull it out, so definitely earned the title of true friend there. Little candle magic. My husband and I on Christmas. I guess Christmas 2022. And then probably in here, I would bet, is more journaling about my miscarriage. I made a bunch of these bigger collages this year, and I just, I wanted one in my journal, but I couldn't fit one in my journal, and I didn't want to like take my favorite one to put in my journal, so I just made a miniature version of it with the scraps and put it in here. Got a little spell jar. One of the songs that I wrote this year. The rest of it, private journaling. As are many of these things. Many of these things are private journaling. This was a card that I pulled that I was just like, I actually need this. I pulled it from my basket case, and I was like, I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need to read this a lot this year, so we're just gonna leave this here. Fuck perfectionism. Oh yeah, I'm going to release an album recorded almost entirely in GarageBand on my phone, because fuck perfectionism. It will be called Wildflowers, and it will be wild and full of flowers, and it sure fucking was. And that is what I did. You make me feel like I'm Botticelli, baby. Still working on that song. I made some vanilla peach preserves with peaches from my neighbor / landlady's peach tree. Some notes about songwriting. As a songwriter, I can only be so invested in keeping my emotional experiences private. I can only have so many secrets. I choose to feel fully and deeply, and to examine those feelings until I understand them well enough to alchemize them into art, poetry, and song. This was a little spell I made in this journal for heart healing and joy and good vibes. I intended to like decorate this as a journal card, but it's notes on my full moon and Sagittarius reading. I never decorated it, but it still goes in here. A ton of ephemera from my trip to California. This was, I think, right after I released my single and right before I released my album. I went to go see my mom in California, and just like everything that I saved from the trip is just like in this little binder clip that is just holding on for dear life. And this was like, I had a page in here that I just never used, and I was like, you know, rather than using both sides of this page, I'm just gonna tear it out and use it for something else later. And then we've got, oh, this was a little spinner that I made with this sticker. I think I ordered some zines and someone sent me this sticker, and it's on like it's almost on like bookbinding tape is what it feels like. And I made this little spinner with all these I am affirmations. And we'll just circle through this so you can see. I think this is really fun, and I like this idea. And I will probably, I don't know, I might like to do this again. And we're gonna do that, leave that there. And then we've got a picture from my wedding that I probably journaled on, yeah. And oh my God, a journal entry. When I went to stay with my mom, I found this journal entry in my nightstand drawer. It was like my old nightstand, but in her new house. And it had this journal entry from like right after I met my husband, and I was writing about how I could like totally see myself marrying him. And these are some lemon geranium leaves from her garden that probably will not last very long this way. I should probably gel them down or something, but you know, there they are. And we went to the Cicada Club, so I kept the menus because they're cool. I've got a Shakespeare sonnet that was kind of on my mind. A song that I wrote, some more songs that I wrote, more songs that I wrote. A cool little rose fairy paper doll that I made. Some stuff like a gratitude list, basically. Roses from the house I grew up in. More nice note from Starbucks. I really love this one. Vervain, while working with you, I learned to love learning again. Your vast knowledge of everything has inspired me to want to know more, and that is the greatest thing I could be given. I'm going to miss working with you so much. I want to cry just reading it. Oh, I love this. This is, well, you don't need to know the context there. I've got some pictures from Cottonwood Cottage and the first cottonwood blossom of the year. We've got some more secret typewritten journaling tucked in my little guitar string pocket. I love these guitar string pockets. I think they're just so beautiful, and I kind of wish I'd kept more of them. Maybe I did. I don't think I did though. Man, I probably used a lot of self-control to only keep one. I think that's probably what happened. Got some journaling. Oh, this is some journaling about finding out I was pregnant again for the second time. Oh, and my little 9-week ultrasound. There's little baby Rosemary. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you yet. She's a girl, and her name is Rosemary. And here she is at 9 weeks. So It's really special. And this was from a moon circle that I went to that I was just like, I can't come. I'm too deep in first trimester. I'm too tired. I feel sick. I can't come. And they were like, what if we come get you and you don't have to drive? And I was like, okay, if you come get me and I can just lie on the couch and there are no social expectations of me, then I can come. And so this was the morning after, right before they drove me back. And I just had some old photo strips that used to be on our fridge. This was one of me like trying to use up the last couple empty pages here, and I didn't really have anything on these sheets. And so instead of putting these old photo strips on our new fridge, I decided to make a photo strip page. So this is from a long time ago, as you can tell, because I didn't have dreads, and I've had dreads for like 8 years. And then kind of early on in the dread journey. It's from like a year or two before I got married. And this is just from our recent trip to LA this past summer. And then what's in here? Oh yeah, my mom always sends me cards, like the coolest cards, but she's like, oh, I didn't want to write on the card in case you wanted to use it again. So she writes on like the little thing that comes with the card, and this was the card. I'm never going to be able to bring myself to like do anything else with these. I have to keep them and just enjoy them, right? And it lights up. How cool is that? So yeah, I'm not parting with that. That lives here now. But I had to keep the part that she wrote on as well. Okay. I guess we didn't really look at this in the middle. We've just got a Audubon Owls coloring page and a Farkle, either Farkle or Scrabble, actually. I don't know. I guess it's Scrabble. These are not Farkle numbers. This is a Scrabble scoreboard between me and my friend Lindsay that I then gel printed on afterwards. And this just has a letter from my friend in it. This was like something I did when I was making my journal, that I was like, oh, this will be a page that I work on later. And then every time I was going through, I was like, no, this is beautiful and perfect and done. I can't do anything else to this page. Some more nice notes from my Starbucks people. Gel print that I did from a magazine page. A sticker from when I started making walnut bread, from getting the walnuts. This is a fun little thing. This is an infinite flipper that I made with the 4 agreements. And I don't feel like it was upside down before, so I can't answer to that, but it's upside down now, so like every panel is upside down, I feel like, or every other panel is upside down, and that's fine. I don't know if the fairies like changed that on me when I wasn't looking, or if I actually fucked it up. I don't remember it being like that when I made it, but probably I fucked it up. And then these are some chocolates that my friend gave me when we moved here, and I journal on the back of that. This was another page that like I thought I was gonna journal on, and then I just never could bring myself to write on it because I love it. We've made this little pocket. I've kept a bunch of the throat coat tea bag tags because I love them and they're pretty. I've got this Katie Daisy card. Some notes from when we moved into the new house. One of the line-a-cut prints that I did this year. Some Christmas notes with some, these are hand-carved rubber stamps that my friend made me and sent to me a long time ago. I did not carve those. I love this little double tuck spot with the vellum and stuff, and I've just kept a bunch of fortune cookie fortunes in here, and some journaling and an oracle card about journaling. And this little, it's not like attached, but I just feel like it belongs here. It lives here now. And then some journaling about my baby, and some more journaling about my baby, because I was literally writing here about how we'd like just found out it was a girl, and we'd already decided a long time ago if we had a girl, it was going to be named, we were going to name her Rosemary. And I wrote about that, and then I was like, oh, I wonder if I had anything in this envelope, and I opened it up, and I actually had a bunch of dried rosemary in here from my mother's garden. And so I wrote on here about that kind of serendipity. Or maybe I didn't, maybe that's something else. This was from a gift that my friend gave me for Christmas. She made me a little belly and body butter. I've got a Rumi quote, never give from the depths of your well, but from your overflow. So this was when I had already decided, or I just decided, my word of the year for 2024. I guess this is on January 1st that I wrote this, but I hadn't made my new journal yet. And then in here, we've got my newest ultrasound. So this is the 19 weeks. Isn't she cute? You're like, I don't know. Is that a baby? Yeah, it's a baby. There you go. Now she looks cute. It's a girl. So yeah, that lives here now. And then this was the sketch for a line of cut that I did. I didn't actually put that line of cut in the journal, but I put the sketch in here. This is kind of some journaling about my old house, the Citrine Palace, before Cottonwood Cottage. And a card from my grandma, Christmas card from my grandma. A scrap collage that I did with some scraps that I had after making this journal. Trying to fill up pages here. Same thing, trying to fill up pages here. Not scraps from this journal, but I was just trying to fill up pages. Which I guess I still don't look at this. We're pretending this is full. And then this is actually more miscarriage journaling. These were cards that my family gave me. We went out to dinner to celebrate. There's a bunch of November birthdays in my family, and so we went out to dinner to celebrate all the November birthdays and also to celebrate my first pregnancy. And they gave me these cards that night, and this is a photo of the night, and it was literally like I was already spotting when I went to that dinner, and I miscarried that night. And so yeah, it was just kind of heavy, but I wrote a little bit about it back here. And the card is really beautiful, and it didn't have a date or anything, and so I just thought, we're still on the journey to becoming parents. I'm still on the journey of becoming a mother. It's just not happening right this second. A new chapter is still unfolding. So I kept this on my fridge all year, but I decided when we moved, some of the things that were on the fridge before now are in the junk journal. And there's another copy of that line of cut that I just liked, so I put it in this little vellum page. And then this is from a song that I wrote right at the end of the year, or finished writing right at the end of the year. I guess this line I actually wrote 6 years ago. Maybe you were trying to teach me something I still haven't quite got right, even now. You said love just like it was nothing, like you loved everybody. Maybe that was the point. And yeah, the whole song is up on my Patreon right now, and maybe I'll link my Patreon below. Here we go. And then what do I have back here? Oh, we have a zine that I made with poetry and lyrics about grief. Some of it is from stuff that I wrote after my miscarriage. Some of it, it's not all grief, it's grief and longing. It's all pretty sad though. But I'm really proud of it. And this was a lot of my first line of cuts and rubber stamp carvings that I used to do this. Yeah, so I still have these zines available in my Emporium. Ooh, I didn't know about that. That goes there now. And then this was a line of cut that I did of a self-portrait this year. So those will live back here in this beautiful little envelope that I love so much. Ooh, I think there's something in here that doesn't need to be here also. Yep, more stickers and blank notepads. I just loved the idea of putting these notepads into this journal, and then I never used them. I did not need as much writing space as I thought or at least not of the type that I thought I was going to want. I ended up mostly writing like on ephemera or typewriting and then putting it in. So there you go. That's my 2023 junk journal. The whole dang thing. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.